Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Sunday, November 21st, 2021. The market did on Friday pretty much just continued higher, although overall the market was range bound, but it started from a higher level and it basically held above 16,500 for the entire session. In fact, I would say the upper 2/3 of 16,500 for the entire session. And here in Globex, we have now gone again and broken back above 16,600, produced a new high. And on Friday, we had managed to 1, 2, 3, 4 times break above 16,000 up to this, resistance point at 16,624. And that was after about the fourth try, we got above it to 28. And then we kind of lulled and we kind of came back down, but we're now heading back higher. It didn't break far enough to break the cycle. So the market does continue to rise. And I would present the following two situations that I think could happen. We could get a similar day that we had on Friday, and that would be where the Dow, the S&P, and the Russell all went down. From Globex, doesn't look like that is going to really be the case right now. But we still have the Asian markets to trade, and then we have the European markets to take over and then put their 2 cents in to see what should be happening. Here is what I believe that could be taking place. Just to do a quick review, we remain in a minor fifth wave advance. That minor fifth wave started right there at 15,896, and that started on the 10th of November. So we're going into basically the third week, and we have minor waves 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're in, under my best estimation, a minute fifth wave up, which is still in progress, but maybe reaching either its finishing stages or is going to blast with some strength. Let me try to explain why. Within this fifth wave, I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would likely just be wave 1. If that's the case, wave 1 of 5, wave 2 of 5. Now we're into a third wave up, and it may seem like it's dropping off, not really finding too much momentum, but it could just be a 1, a little drop down 2, and then a 3. So there's a possibility that it's 1, 2, and now we're into the third, or A, B, and now we're going to come down in a C. So there's a few things that could happen overnight. But I would say that there's a 50-50 probability. That's the weighting that I'm giving both sides, equal weighting, to either the market breaks higher in the third wave or breaks lower in a stronger decline. So the break higher, I would anticipate now, of course, it's already gone above 16,624, which is resistance. It's already gone and made a new high, just slight, but still a new high at 632.25. So our next stronger resistance comes in at 16,658. Then it jumps to 16,747, 16,828, 16,845. So it really is no longer like how high can this market go? I don't know. You're going to have to ask the traders. But I can tell you that on a Fibonacci basis, these numbers have a realistic chance of coming into play, particularly these lower levels, which already have. 382 met, exceeded. Then we drop down to what the minute 5 should be. It's already reached 70.5% of its third wave. So the minute 3 against the minute 5. Next up, we have the 78.6. Then we have 100%. Common, that wave 5 would equal wave 3. Wave 1 being the shortest wave does leave open the potential that wave 5 could end up being the longest wave. And that pushes us even higher. Now we get into minor 5 being 618 of minor 3, and that comes in at 17,040 in that area. These numbers are in play. And the market will let us know. And that would put the very bullish spin on the fact of what I was just saying, that it's either going to bust up in a 3 in a third wave. So a 3 of this slightly larger 5, right? This is 1 of 5, 2 of 5. It's in a third, and it's going to probably roll around here, come off a little bit, and then it would blast. So it would be a 3 of 3 type move, and it should go very quickly, likely up towards 16,700. Again, we're in no man's land. And so when markets get up into these areas, it's a black hole. So it's going to be harder to find sellers. There'll be offers out there, but if you're looking to buy a whole bunch of futures, not going to be possible because you'll see a lot of one lots trading. In any case, markets can move and we can get up into those larger and higher stratospheric levels. Downside is also got a 50% probability that the market has reached its highs. This actually could be, an extended third, a fourth, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One slight new high. Basically, that's it. It's a little 5 up. That could be it. That could put the 5 on it, and we start to drop lower. But if that's going to be the case, the market must start to do that. It has to reject these levels, and it has to reject them and drop. Similar to, we've not really had one in a while, to be honest with you. But if I kind of can go back, similar to what we saw here, they reject and they just start to drop. People are getting out. And that will be noticeable because number one, let me just kind of blow this up, we're going to break below the 4. And then hourly would close below the 4, close below the 8, break what was resistance on the way up is now support. Breaking below the 20 would start to give us a little bit of hint, at least on an hourly basis, we're seeing a market weakness. Then we have 539, then we've got the 50 at 16,500, we're going to call it. A break below there would again give some additional confirmation of market weakness. So as it starts to break down, we'll get confirmation. So, and when I say confirmation of market weakness, I would think that the break itself pushes some additional sellers to come in. That maybe their stop level was here. So again, we have it all the way down. So we have support, and what ultimately I think would happen if that is going to be the case in terms of that the highs are in and the market starts to drop, that we're basically going to start to see some stronger moves to bring us back at least below 16,303. That I think would be pretty easy for the market. If the highs are in, I think getting back closer to 16,000 down to this level of 15,896, that will eventually, of course, be broken if all the highs are in. But initially, I think we're going to be starting to demonstrate some pretty stronger market weakness. We can't say that cannot be replaced by a reversal because up to this point, they all have been. But when I start to see them breaking levels, then as a day trader, I'm like, okay, fine. This is probably where it's going to go. If it starts to break here, I will have already drawn some retracements to give us areas coming off. So for tomorrow, my bias actually remains to the upside, unless they're going to break the back of this push higher, which is being driven by options trading in Amazon, in Google, in Facebook, in basically all of our larger NASDAQ stocks. But I believe the bias will be to the upside tomorrow. But having said that, I think it's important to also bear in mind that we can have pretty good volatile, quick slides lower, a quick slide higher, followed by a quick slide lower, and et cetera. And it continues to happen. We should see decent volatility still on both sides. This one, Globex, makes sense. So, and this was going into the close and it was expiration. So that was the start of today. That was the close. So we actually gapped up a little bit and then just kind of filled the rest of the buy orders, and they had to come back in again. So in any case, I do think it's like we can play both sides. And just be aware, follow the moving averages, use the Fibonacci levels, particularly the ones that are going into uncharted territory above, because those are what will guide a lot of algorithms if they need to buy. Those are points that they'll likely pick. And on the downside, follow the moving averages. And actually for both sides, follow the moving averages. On our nearer term charts, you can continue to look to see what direction going in. Again, I'm using a 1, a 2, and a 5-minute chart. I like the 2 the best, which is why it sits in the center. But I can get a lot of entries off of the 1 minute. If I'm looking and it could get tight, I'll get a better entry here, or at least a better signal earlier than I'll get it here. So those are what I use. And I'm going to follow the moving averages. If they're all lined up to go up, please don't fight it until you get signals, until you get that voice from the market itself that we're going down a little bit. We're going down for a while. We're going down for the next minute. We're going down for the next 5 minutes, so that you can start to gauge your trades and then you can play. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Our next update will be on Monday, the 22nd.